Today we're going to be working on the phrasing for Who Shall Be Fairest, which is the exercise number 12 in the Arban's Complete Trumpet Method book. I will be playing flugelhorn for this. If you don't play trumpet or flugelhorn, you can still get some benefit out of this workshop. I'm going to be talking about phrasing using the form of the piece and making decisions about dotted 8/16 and making decisions about changes in tempo. So let's get started. I have numbered the measures from 1 to 19 already. So this is just one way of doing it. I was able to see the form before, but I just wanted to make sure we all could see the same thing. It looks like to me that we have one phrase that is 4 measures long. I like to ignore the editor's breath marks at the very beginning just because I feel like they're excessive. So we have one section here, that is part A. We have measures 5, 6, 7, and 8. And because it starts with the same 3 beats, basically same 4 beats, almost the same notes as the first part, I'm going to also call this part A. So the phrases start with the same notes. That means they'll probably start the same. I'll probably make the same choices as to how I'm going to phrase the quarter note, dotted 8/16 note, all that stuff like that, because those are similar parts of the piece. Now, looking at 9, 10, 11, and 12, I see a fermata. That tells me that that section of the song is probably going to stop here. B flat resolving to an A outside of our key signature. That tells me for this measure only, we are in the key of F. If you don't understand why yet, that's okay. Don't worry about it, but you're going to want to know eventually that if you have a random B flat and there's no B flats in your key signature, that's a modulation, or what's it called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. What is it? Not a modulation, but secondary dominant, I think? I don't remember. It was like 10 years ago that I took theory, you guys. Anyway, milk this. Resolve this. We're in a different key. This is not the same as anything we've seen before. This is part B. We have 2 fermatas here in this part B. This is going to tell us, and a rallentando, this is going to be the most strenuous part of the piece. We're going to want a lot of excitement here. Just because it looks different, and there's all these markings, there's rallentandos, there's an embellishment, there's fermata, another embellishment, another fermata. Tempo, like you might expect, same measure, same notes as measure 1. Totally different dynamic, that doesn't matter right now. This is also part A. Same notes as measure 2. Almost the same notes as measure 3, except a little variation here. This is different. I see this as maybe a deceptive cadence. Something that you think it's going to be the end. You think it's going to be a 4-measure phrase, just like all these others, but oh no, sharps, oh, it's different. Here's this measure. Here's a little chance to kind of correct what you thought it was going to be. So kind of correcting, this is like maybe you're forgiven for going out of line that time. That's how I see that. Okay, so that's our form. We have A, B, A, with some other stuff. That's going to tell us a lot. So that's the big picture. Decisions about style. First of all, our tempo is andante. Andante means a walking speed. So some people like to whip out their metronomes. I hate that habit. I really hate it. What I think about is how fast am I going to walk? Da, da, da. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, because I really like to enjoy how the houses look in the neighborhood. Next decision we need to make. Style. We have a lot of quarter, dotted 8/16. We have a lot of that pair all over the place in this piece. So we have to decide how we're going to play it, because otherwise, if we don't play it consistently or we don't play it the same way, then it's not going to be consistent style. However, it's kind of funny because it's marked differently here. It's no slur here, slurs all 3 notes, slurs just the first 2 notes. I guess that gives a little bit of information to us, because I think because this is slurred and the pitch changes, we're going to want to play all of these quarter notes full value. We don't want to put any space in between the quarter, dotted, 8/16. There are some situations where you can, but this is not one of them. So if this is our tempo, da 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 da. When I sang it just then, I put a little bit of space here. That's how I naturally see that kind of rhythm. If there's no space like here, we fall into the trap sometimes of playing it swung or playing it too much like a triplet, not shortening this note enough, not keeping enough length here. So we're going to be very, very cognizant as we play of playing the first note of every pair full length. That's what we're thinking about. What else? There are a few places where we have, not too many, but there are a few places where we have 4 eighth notes in a row with a slur over the first 2. I see this in a lot of different pieces and a lot of different styles. What it generally means is you're actually going to play this a little tiny microscopic bit longer. That puts weight on the first beat, or the first note of the beat, and this is a little bit of a sigh or a little bit of a release. So I want you to think, hold, release. Da da dun dun da. Da 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 dun 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 dun. We also have that here going towards this little peak, so we have the option here. We are working on our phrasing. We have the option of emphasizing the first beat, putting a little tiny bit of a rubato or a rallentando in here, because I really see that. Actually, I see this as a peak, because we don't really expect that. We don't expect to go down after we've reached that. We don't expect to go down. Like I said, I don't really observe the breath marks that are placed every other measure, or every other measure, because I just don't think it's necessary to breathe, except I will probably breathe here, because I'm looking at this phrase. I know that this is a release. We've done this before. There's fortissimo. We're going to use more air anyway. I'm going to start here, and I have to have one breath take me all the way through here. And that's going to take some power. So I probably will breathe at 15. I'm going to try to hold myself accountable to what I just said. So I'm listening. I'm trying to keep these accurate and true. I'm trying to emphasize the first of each slurred pair. I can also think about doing that here in the quarter notes as well. That would be a good way to match the style. Let's try it out. Let's see how it goes. All right. Keeping in mind all style markings, let's give it a go. Okay, so I totally lied about the breath marks. I pretty much did every single one. Oops. I guess that's how it goes when you say that you're not going to do something and then you just do it anyway. That's okay. We're all human. Here's something I thought about, and I realized this was wrong of me to say. We don't really want that much of a sigh or release when it's in the middle of a phrase. That doesn't make any sense. Dun, dun, da, da, dun. Dun, dun, da, da, da. That it would make it seem very choppy, right? So we want to make sure, especially if we're playing all the way within one breath, we want to make sure these lines connect. Even though there's no big slur around it, we know there's a slur. We know there's a slur. Dun, da, 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 dun, dun, da, da, dun. I would even think about maybe slowing down a little bit right here on these quarter notes if it is the second one, not if it's the first one. Of course, I didn't breathe here. Why did I not do that? I don't know. That's pretty important that I work on that. So I think that's what I've worked on. I hope this was helpful for you, at least in getting some ideas on how you can work on phrasing. I will have this workshop linked to the final product, which I'll probably record in just a minute or two, if it's good enough. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any specific ideas in music that you want to work on, you want me to work through with you, or if you have any thoughts or you totally disagree with me, please let me know, and why. Because I'm always learning and I'm always trying to find other points of view too. If you have any kind of technical thing in the Arban's book, or even maybe not on trumpet, any wind instrument really, let me know and I'll see what I can do about getting a video. Yeah. So again, if you like this kind of thing, subscribe, give it a like, and I will see you next time. And in the meantime, stay mindful, stay musical, stay out of trouble.